Tony and I have wanted to create an event like this for quite some time. We wanted to put an event that was memorable in a way that hadn't been done before. There are events like the Designer Wedding Show which are incredible, a perfect platform to showcase your product. But we wanted to do it from a museum perspective where we invited people to showcase the best of the best. We chose One Mayfair because it's a new venue, it's spectacular, the space is just sublime. I'm here today with Jonathan Atwood from Last Supper Catering. Tell me a little bit about the pop-up patisserie you put together.
What we wanted to do was take some of the almost 1930s French patisserie elements, so they had very sort of over-the-top cakes and creations that really were like centerpieces. So we wanted something visual that really stood out and made you think, gosh, wow, you know, that's a little bit over the top, but we love it. And then lots of other elements that were maybe a bit more identifiable and not every day, but things that people kind of recognized. So we included things like white chocolate lollipops that were scented with rose, geranium or violet. We did lovely little raspberry ripple marshmallows. We did various flavoured macaroons. We did a smaller version of the larger cakes, so took elements of the decoration that we condensed down to do into smaller little individual cake versions for people. We did little tiny panna cottas in delicate little glasses that people could take away, and very much kind of the look in the presentation was linking with all of those type of things. So French reference, so lots of intricate silverware, mirror, lovely hand-etched dishes, delicate champagne saucers. It had a sense of being quite playful, a little bit whimsical, maybe a little bit sort of nostalgic, touch of fairy tale, and a little bit fantasy as well. And we all love a little bit of fantasy at a wedding.
Also with me today is Polly Atkinson from Brides magazine. She's the lifestyle editor. Polly, you created a spectacular Valentine's inspired look. Tell me a little bit more about it and why you chose the little details that you had.
The idea sprung from the fact that Valentine's Day fell 3 days after the event, and so I knew everyone would be thinking about Valentine's Day, and red roses sprung to mind, so I knew I wanted to include red roses. You guys came up with a beautiful scheme with some black urns that just set the red roses off, and then I just dressed the table with white linen because that always looks smart, and incorporated a black and white table runner which worked with the red and the black urns, and not forgetting Peggy Portion, who did some really stunning miniature tiered wedding cakes. The idea of the table was to put together something that was really wow, but obviously, you know, the idea is that brides take elements from it, and for the flowers, I think, you know, to have one beautiful urn in the centre of each table would work really nicely.
Here today with me also is Astrid Joss, shopping editor at Brides magazine. It was inevitable for us, having worked with you at shoots, to choose you to style all the dresses and accessories at One Mayfair. Tell me, how did you choose the dresses?
At One Mayfair, the dresses I chose were Matthew Williamson, Vera Wang and Jasper Conran. And I know that you wanted some designers that spoke volumes in terms of trends and fashion and who is out there at the moment. And Matthew Williamson was a great choice because Matthew's just launched Bridal this year. He existed at Net-a-Porter last year, but this year is him fully launching his biggest collection. Vera Wang has relaunched by doing her own standalone shop, which is with Browns. And that's now having her moved from Selfridges into Browns, right next to Claridge's. And then Jasper Conran, of course, because he's timeless.
Joined on me on the sofa today again is Tony, creative director at By Appointment Only Design. Tony, we put some incredible flower arrangements at the entrance at One Mayfair. Tell me a little bit more about them and why we chose those things.
Well, the entrance was actually, it was supposed to have quite a rustic feel to sort of emulate the worn feeling of the inside of the building. So we used Provençal pots with small spring flowers in to give a lovely sort of almost dainty type feel, really. And then the larger arrangements were in pots that we covered in bark and dried dill heads. It's always fun working with you, Javier, because I think the inspiration is from a fashion background. We used Chanel's images from a recent fashion show and we put together paper flowers, which took a long time to produce.
I mean, it took 4 people.
Yeah, 4 people, 2 weeks to produce all the flowers for the towers, and we produced our own prototype. So whilst we were influenced by people like Martha Stewart, etc., we ended up making our own style of flowers, which I think worked really well, creating textures within those and slight colour variations.
And how could we not forget our Parisian-inspired look? Tell me a little bit about our choices there and what materials we used.
The candelabra is amazing, again from VG New Trend, a really beautiful piece, and with a sphere of about 500 roses, shortcut roses in the centre of it, again creating an enormous amount of impact, and the tablecloth again being really textured. The whole look was about a myriad of textures and off-whites, so lots of things going on, but the more you looked, I think the more you were able to see. And then the sound, quite incredible performance from Passionata, from Young Guns, incredible girls, and really perfect for that environment. I think the whole thing together, the fact you're hitting all of the senses, is probably what makes a really brilliant event.